One of the best ChatGPT use cases I've seen, it only takes 3 sentences and one file for you to be able to save up to 9 hours per week. This is going to let you talk to your entire project folder. A construction project, for example, has an average of 2,000 files. You're going to be able to find everything that you need, final version or the final version, or what you don't have and what you're going to need to get from somebody as well. There's so many different types of questions you can ask this. It's so much better than just a simple file search with Windows. And those 9 hours, that's 20% of your work week. McKinsey did some research on it, and if you're honest, you probably think that makes some sense already. The best parts about all of this is that you get to do this without the extra software headache, and you don't have to change anything about what you already do. I put 1,000 hours into working with AI, and I hate all this admin working with document stuff just as much as everybody else. You've got endlessly nesting folders. You've got document trees that have dead ends to them. It takes you some time to actually find all these documents. That search bar, you might as well just ask Siri. Think about your file system and you get folder anxieties. So the way this thing works is you get to just ask general vague questions like, what are the letters from the city? Instead of trying to type in specifics into a search bar. It's going to give you all the information that you could possibly need. It knows the folder path, where it can get information from. It has the file name, has all the last modified by who, what do we have for building permits? And as you might know already, in some cases, you can get an update on the project just simply knowing what is in the project folder, what the status of the project is. And so that's what I do here. What's the status of the project in general? Well, it sees that there's a bunch of items within the closeout folder, including, the TCO. Here's the setup. You're going to create a new GPT, and this is in the ChatGPT interface. You'll give it a name, description, and then the only thing that you have to do is tell it, you're going to read this one file called folder map. You're going to let users ask questions to it. I'm telling it it's a multifamily real estate construction project, and the user is likely someone in real estate development management. That's it. That's the only context it needs to know. But you could, in theory, give it your closeout process. You could give it a little bit of context about what you do and the naming conventions and all of that, and it'll get even better. All I'm doing with this right here, this is just a map of all of the items in my folder tree. The way that you get that is a little techie. I'll tell you exactly how to do it. But you put that in there, and then you click Code, Interpreter, and Analysis. That way it can read the files, and that is it. That's all you need to do. The way that you get this file over here is you just go to ChatGPT and then tell it a prompt, give me a Python or PowerScript code or something, and then tell me how to get a map of all of my files and folders. Then you just create that map. It's called a JSON file, and you upload it here as the knowledge base. Now you might be thinking, I've got a super unique way of organizing things. That doesn't matter, because you're going to just give it a live map of the way that you organize. You don't have to change a single thing. Or does it read through all of the documents? No, it doesn't do that. It doesn't really need to do that. And honestly, it's probably not the best use case for ChatGPT. I made another video that shows you how to do something like that as well. Could it give you a hyperlink to the document that you're looking for? Yeah, it absolutely could. If you're storing your documents on the cloud like Box or Dropbox or any of these other platforms, you can absolutely tie a hyperlink to that. Is it static or is it live? It's actually not live in this scenario where I just run a line of code, I create the map, and then I upload that to this GPT, and I can do that whenever on a reoccurring basis. That's pretty quick and easy. Or you could use a cloud function to run the code, and then you'll store it in a vector database like Pinecone. So that's the other way to keep it live and fully running. What if I want to use it not just on a project folder, but like my entire folder system? Well, that's easy. You just use the same line of code, and instead of that project folder, you just run it on the entire breadth of your file management system. It'll take a little bit longer to run, that's for sure, but you'll have that map and it'll be able to answer everything. But beyond that, it should tell you that you shouldn't settle for a software program that might not have these things, but probably should. It's pretty easy to implement, honestly. Or it should tell you that you might not need to sign up for a very expensive enterprise plan. So there's a couple different takeaways that you can use there. Also, you should know that people are going to master workflows like this pretty soon. They're going to be working with very small teams doing pretty big things. So it's worth getting caught up on the different ways that people are working with information. Okay, so here's what I want you to do as a challenge. 1, like or comment on the video. Tell me if you want to see more of this. 2, this is the hardest step possible, but you're going to ask ChatGPT or some other AI to write you the code that lets you talk to your folders, right? Ask it to produce a JSON or JSON object that you can give to an AI to parse your files. 3, you're just going to take that knowledge, you'll put it into a custom GPT. 4, you give it some context about what you do, what you're looking to do. And then 5, you just test and adjust the folder map as you need more information. So keep an eye out for other use cases like this. Until next time.